Well, at the end of the year, it's time to look back and reflect, and we're going to look at economic development in our area. And we've got Dave Stratton, the president and CEO of Allen Economic Development Group. And thanks for joining us, Dave.
Good to be with you, Holly, as always.
Well, let's look back. I mean, you know, we have gone through the pandemic. It's continuing. It's still a struggle. But, like, how would you look at 2021 and as far as economic development and how things have been going locally?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I think it's been a great year. I know there's been a lot of challenges for all of our businesses and certainly for our residents. COVID certainly has been a challenge for everyone. I know that. However, if we look at some of the successes for Allen Economic Development Group, but really ultimately for Allen County, if you remember back in March, it was identified that in 2020, we were identified as fourth in the nation as far as development, and that is for a third-tier metropolitan, 50,000 population to 150,000 population. That was based on 8 projects that were done in 2020, and then in 2021, we actually submitted 12 projects. Now, will they all be accepted? Don't know that. But all of that being said, that's quite optimistic as far as development that's taken place.
Yeah, I mean, you've really had a lot of projects that happen. And I mean, those are accomplishments. I mean, targets, you know, checks off the list that some of these things have been getting done.
Yeah, certainly. Our goal always, every year, is what you and I have talked about as being 100, 20, 20 plus 10. We want to do 100 business retention and expansion meetings with businesses. We're excited about what businesses are doing, but we have to hear from them. Out of that, we hope to have 20 business projects, which we hit in 2021. We want to have 20 economic development projects, and then we want to reach out to about 10, if we could, attract new business to Allen County, and we actually pursued 15. So. Well, does that mean we're going to have them all here? No. It's a funnel. We end up pursuing many, and we get some. But yes, there was a lot of successes, certainly.
Yeah, 2021 was the start of a 3-year strategic plan, and I mean, you try to look ahead, but is that hard to do? I mean, you need these plans, obviously, but you know, is it hard to accomplish and look ahead that many years?
In economic development, Holly, it's a long-term process. It's not as though we're going to be able to solve things, today. A lot of these projects will take 9 months to a year or more. In our 3-year strategic plan, we have 7 main goals. 3 are primary goals, 4 are secondary goals. So most of those are really looking out for 3 years to 5 years out. And one of them that I'm quite excited about, and really the public should be too, if they were to drive down on the south side and they were to go through Commerce Parkway, the first priority, the goals that we might have for our strategic plan is to look at infrastructure and site preparedness. Well, down in that area, there's a number of projects that have already taken place. But now with our strategic goal, we're looking at what does the future look like. And many of those areas, so Commerce and McLean, and then you go down 65, there's a lot of opportunity, and we're excited about that.
Yeah, exactly. So you're excited about that. So what do you think then? Let's just look ahead to 1 year. What do you think next year is going to look like? What kind of, economic development projects do you think you got going?
Yeah, I'd like to break that down into a couple different segments, if I could. One is if folks were to drive downtown Lima, they're going to see a different downtown Lima in a year than they see today. Okay, because I say that because we look at different metrics. Some are just visions of what Lima could look like down, but some are already projects underway. And so when we look at some of the projects that are started, there's about 5 or 6 projects that already are committed to maybe upwards to $60 million of capital investment. But if all of the projects would take place, that's ones that are just in early stages. It could be 100+ million, right? So I look at that and I say we're quite optimistic about what downtown could look like. Then you look at some of the businesses opportunities that we have down south. But we're also looking at other areas. We're working hard on Delphus and in Bluffton and in Spencerville. So we're thinking all of Allen County. Here's a number that I'd like for you just to have too, Holly, and I know we have to be quick, but When we're always looking at capital investment into an area, and in our area in 2019, there was about $430 million of capital investment by businesses. That's a lot of money, right?
Yes.
That came into projects that we've been involved with, but certainly other people too. And then you have in 2020, it wasn't as good because of COVID. It was down to about 280 million. But now back into this year, 2021, it's already 400 million plus. So that tells me that it's on an upswing again, and I'm very optimistic of what the future looks like. So I think we can all be excited about Lima, Allen County.
Right, yeah, as you mentioned, so many projects, housing downtown and things that we've accomplished. So I think the next year is going to be exciting, and we have you on Noon Edition once a month, so we get to hear about all the updates.
Oh, thank you so much for doing that, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas too, Holly, and of all your viewers. It's a time of year to have hope, and that's what we're gonna bring to Allen County.
Exactly, bringing the hope. All right, Dave, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Holly. Always appreciate you.
All right, Noon Edition continues in a moment.
A college degree should make you beyond